Hey, this video is all about short-term rentals for Jefferson County. They have rules in place. They are not being regulated that well, but they're having meetings and they're planning on cracking down on the Airbnbs, the short-term rental game up in the mountains. So before you go buying a property up here with the purpose of using it as a short-term rental, you should watch this video. So stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Sean Murphy, team leader of the Moxie Denver team, a real estate team here in the foothills in the Front Range of Colorado. And we make videos like this about what it's like to live in the area and things that you should know about if you're going to be making your way up to this area. So if you haven't yet, make sure you hit subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified each time we put up that new hotness. But let's get on into it. Today I have special guests with me, Joshua O'Shea, an agent on my team. We both live up here in Evergreen, and we're going to be talking about the rules and regulations around short-term rentals. So let's get on into it. Cool, let's just start off by defining what is a short-term rental according to Jefferson County.
Let's do it. A short-term rental in Jefferson County it has to be a single family dwelling with no more than 5 bedrooms. They don't want any big old party houses out here. And you are having to pay a fee for less than 30 days. So super simple, broad, but the big point off here is no more than 5 bedrooms.
Right, and there's also some further restrictions for Jefferson County. Like at this point, it has to be more than 1 acre. They don't want like stacked on. Really, it's like the party house thing that they don't want. They don't want people throwing ragers and bothering the whole community. We like our peace and quiet up here in the mountains. That's why people moved up here. So don't screw it up. Other things are like
you have to have adequate parking. You have to have adequate access.
Access? What does adequate access mean?
So adequate access is your driveway has to be able to have a fire truck,
right,
an ambulance, or a police officer be able to pull down it with ease, right, to be able to help you out
in an emergency. So talking about defensible space, it is a ever more important issue as climate change and temperatures are rising. Really, there's no natural disasters that they have up here in the mountains other than wildfires, and there just simply aren't enough firefighters to fight them and save the homes. And so defensible space is really important. And we have
Jessica Moore out of Evergreen Fire Rescue in another video specifically talking about fire mitigation, defensible space, and how to protect your home. So if you want to know more about that, just watch that next video. But let's go back into short-term rentals and let's continue about like
another reason to hit that bell though, so they're notified.
Send it.
So that is, we defined what a short-term rental is. I think most of you knew that, but a couple of things like the 5 bedrooms, 1 acre, that is unique to Jefferson County's term. So the reason that they're cracking down a lot more on the rules and regulations, because they've had these rules in place that they want you to get a permit, but they haven't really enforced it. But there are a lot of meetings around wanting to enforce the rules now. Right now, there are only currently 17 properties that are permitted as short-term rentals in the mountains. But there are 756 that are advertised online as short-term rentals.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
So could you buy a home up here and get away with it? Yeah, probably. But for how long? And that's why buyer beware. We just want you guys to have all the information and make the best decision. The problem is, and the reason that a lot of people don't want to get the permit is because it's a little bit pricey.
And it takes a while.
Yeah, so we're going to take you through the steps now of what it would take to get your home permitted. First, you're going to apply with Jefferson County, and you're going to have a hearing. And before the hearing, they're going to put a sign up in the yard of the house letting them know that this is, you'd be applying for a short-term rental. So if your neighbors want to get involved, they can.
You have to go to the Board of Adjustments for special exceptions. You have to have that approved from Jefferson County just to even then apply for the permit. Then it will go to the zoning board and they will have to give you the approval.
They're going to bill you up front right there. It's going to be $800 for the application,
and then you'll have your $200 hearing fee.
Doesn't mean you got it yet, just get in the meeting.
And we haven't even approved anything.
But wait, there's more coming.
There's
so
more.
excited.
We're just at 1,000 just to even have the hearing.
Let's just say all things go well, and they're just giving you the permit because you look like a nice person and you don't seem crazy. So go ahead. You got 6 months probation period at this point to prove that you are a good property owner and a good renter, essentially.
And no neighbor complaints.
So yeah, so you will then have your 6 month, do your thing, rent the home, but then you have to come back and you basically go through the whole thing again. So you have to reapply again, essentially, and you have to have another permit. In total, by the end of this process, it's about $2,900.
And then when you get through that, then they put you on a 1 year each permit each time.
Right.
So you will continually do this, but you get through that probation period. They realize this is a good thing for you. It's not hurting the community. And then you will just keep going every year. But that first 6 months, you will be spending almost $3,000 to make sure that you get this permitted correctly and Jefferson County approves it.
And I could see why there are a lot of people that have not permitted their property yet to get this done, because it does seem like a tedious property. So again, you could probably skirt by, no big deal, until it is a big deal. And we just would hate for you to have property if that's the sole reason that you purchased the property, only to find out that for some reason, like, you're in deep water with the county. But luckily, at this point, they haven't really set any like fines or made it enforceable. But they are having a lot of community meetings where particular concerns are being brought up. Concerns like not exactly outlining where the property lines are, because some renters are being advertised that, hey, you can walk right out in nature.
Yeah, and guess what? When you walked out in nature from that person's house, you're in somebody's private property.
Right. So we don't want that. Other things just like road maintenance and ensuring, they mentioned access at the beginning, making those renters pay more in tax or a fee or something like that, because what happens is people come up and with inadequate vehicles, they're not quite prepared, and the people that are pulling them out of the ditch or getting them unstuck are the neighbors, and that's a burden, and just additional road usage. The other item that was being brought up that might be enforced is having a 24-hour contact, or like a property manager or something that's assigned to that property. So if there's a crazy party disturbing the neighbors, or just something that they need to contact the owner of that home, that they can. Talking about timeline.
So if we're diving into timeline here, for doing this correctly through Jefferson County and permitting it through every level, you're roughly looking at a 2-month approval process. And that can be pretty rough for a new buyer who's expecting to make income relatively quickly. That you might not even be through an application process for your first 2 months. And if your rate of return is you needing this income quickly, you really should reconsider coming up this area for short-term rental purposes.
Yeah, and we don't want to scare you away. That's what we do. We love helping people find their perfect place there somewhere in Colorado. We always want our clients to have all the information they need to make the best decision for their situation. And so that's why you got to call us, reach out, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, and we can help you identify these properties, looking at what road they're on, because even like some of these HOAs, there are like tiny HOAs up some of these private roads that have already built into their rules that they don't have HOAs. So we're the guys that you got to call to help you find the right property and take you through these steps and just like set you up in the right path to have success, because having a rental vacation income property in the mountains is amazing. It's something that I look forward to having here in the near future, but you just don't want to be bushwhacked, I think might be the words I would use.
Yeah,
bushwhacked
by the county.
By the county.
Or the HOA. Like Jefferson County says, I'm good at my property to go for it. My HOA, specifically here in Evergreen, says we absolutely will not allow short-term rentals. That is something you really need to be aware of, and that's why you contact us.
Alright, cool. Well, we'll see you guys on the next video. In the meantime, go check out, we have a whole mountain living specific playlist that you guys can go check out too. Alright, see ya.
See ya.